Dan Murphy. I'm the council president, and I'm here on behalf of the mayor, who is attending the
State of the County.
State of the County. Michael Will. So right now I'd like to everybody to rise and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and by providing a copy of the annual notice of the regular meetings for the year 2017 to the Glen Ridge paper, the Glen Ridge Voice, the Montclair Times, and to the Star Ledger on Tuesday, January 10th, 2017, and by filing said notice in the office of the municipal clerk. Michael, can you read the call of roll? Please.
Councilperson Hughes.
Present.
Bosovich.
Here.
Lefkowitz is absent. Dawson.
Here.
Morrow.
Here.
Murphy.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay, very good. At this point, I'd like to suspend the normal order of business so that we might honor crossing guard.
Yes.
And what else?
And that's it. If I might, Geraldine, we could tell you to come on up.
Okay.
And I'm going to read the Crime Prevention Recognition Award. And again, thank you guys so much for coming out to support the members of the police department and lots of our other crossing guards. And I think Geraldine, did you say you passed her here?
Pastors.
So on January 26, 2017, approximately 8 a.m., longtime Glen Ridge crossing guard Geraldine Gray was on her post at the intersection of Bay and Ridgewood. During this time, she observed the subject walk onto the property of 404 Ridgewood Avenue. The actor walked up to a white Ford pickup truck belonging to the resident and attempted to make entry into the vehicle. Due to Geraldine's long-standing commitment to her community, she's made it a point to get to know all those who cross and live around her intersection. As a result, she immediately knew the subject was suspicious and possibly trying to break into the car. She quickly contacted the Glen Ridge Police Department. She was able to provide the dispatcher with a detailed description and an accurate direction of flight. With the information provided by Geraldine, responding police officers were able to quickly locate the actor, who was subsequently identified and taken into custody. During the search incident to the alleged, officers located a set of car keys that had been removed from a stolen vehicle in the city of Clifton. Officers were then able to locate the stolen vehicle, parked just a few blocks from where Geraldine first observed the suspect. Furthermore, during an interview, it was learned that the actor was a longtime gang member, had several active arrest warrants from the city of Newark. In addition, it was revealed that he had recently been released from the Essex County Correctional Facility for auto theft in Bloomfield. Based on the totality of the circumstances, it's believed that the actor had come to town to make entry in the pickup truck, and again, had he gotten in, he would have attempted to steal the vehicle. During this multi-jurisdictional investigation initiated by Geraldine Gray, a crime was prevented while another was solved. Because of her vigilance and quick thinking, another criminal was taken off our street. For her swift action and bravery in assisting the Glen Ridge Police Department, Geraldine Gray is being issued a Glen Ridge Police Department Civilian Crime Prevention Award. Congratulations, Geraldine, and thank you for your 12 dedicated years to the residents and the borough of Glen Ridge. And it reads Civilian Crime Prevention Recognition presented to Geraldine Gray, and this is for the efforts of assisting the Glen Ridge Police Department and also for your dedication to the employment and your service to the town. Thank you so much. Did you want to say anything, or did I say enough?
I think you said enough, but I thank you and I thank all that took the time to come out to support this special event. Thank you so much.
Yes, stay in Ridgewood.
Hey, Richard, if you don't see her, everybody knows.
Yeah, well, I told her when I came out, first of all, I recognized her, she's wearing a beautiful hat.
Yeah.
Maybe that's seen now your hat on. Thanks again.
Okay, we'll get right back into tonight's council meeting. Approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes of the last
I move.
meeting? We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion
Take care.
by Mr. Sovich and a second by Mr. Hughes.
Okay, Commissioner,
Please call the roll.
I'll call the roll. Councilperson Hughes,
Aye.
Lusovic,
Aye.
Leskovich is absent, Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow,
Aye.
the motion carries.
Thank you, Michael. Michael, do we have any written communications?
We currently have two written communications. The first written communication is from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection in regards to the status of our discharge and elimination system tier permit. Essentially, this is just a formality. We file paperwork stating that we have a separated sanitary storm and sewer system. So it's just a letter stating that our status. There's going to be a public hearing. There's towns that have mixed sewer systems, like in Hoboken, where the sanitary and
Everything goes into one pipe.
Yeah.
That goes
which
into the river.
Wonderful.
yeah, we're trying to eliminate. The second letter we have is from Verizon. Verizon Wireless is looking to enhance its network by putting in small network nodes in public right-of-ways in various municipalities throughout the state.
Right.
They're seeking a permit for Glen Ridge to put these nodes throughout Glen Ridge. They'll be meeting with Mr. Rohall to discuss the scope of what they can do, which is very, very limited in Glen Ridge. These are small nodes. They're the size of like a small garbage pail, and they hang off of a utility pole.
But they hang on top or off of, much like a
It's
transformer.
like a transformer, and but they need power.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we have very few poles at the street
Thank you.
with power.
Yeah, this one sits on top of the
No.
pole. What's that? No, that's I'm positive that's not.
No, it looks like a trash can.
It looks like a trash can sitting on top of it.
Yeah.
So we're just meeting, we'll be meeting with them, schedule a meeting with them to discuss exactly what exactly they would be considering in Glen Ridge.
Right. I kind of would like to get a quid pro quo out of that. Specifically, one of my pet peeves is when a gas lamp gets taken down, it's replaced with something that's not historic, it's a piece of metal. And I'd really like to see if we can't get something in exchange for that. In addition, if these things are going to be aluminum, then I'd like to see them anodized aluminum so it lessens the impact of the color.
Mm.
As you know, historic preservation is a thing of mine.
Yeah.
Not that I'm acting as there, but I'm acting as a council person.
Verizon
Yeah, my
put so much
understanding
effort
was-
into this, they didn't realize that we didn't have front yard poles.
Right, or power to
Right.
the pole.
Yeah,
Right.
so they may be, and we're such a long and skinny town, they may be able to replace these nodes
In Bloomfield and
Bloomfield and
Montclair.
Montclair.
Good point, right.
There is one of these nodes in the past has been approved at the country club. It's going to be in the roof system of the clubhouse, so you won't even see it.
Right.
So, again, we'll see what exactly they have in sale. So we'll report back to the council once we have more information.
Thank you.
That
Any other
concludes
community?
the,
Wonderful. Thank you, Michael. At this time, it's comments of the public. So this is the first public portion. So if anybody would like to make a comment, please come forward and you can speak to the mayor and council now.
Would you like to come up and speak and address the council?
No.
You need a hand?
the record, if you could state your name and your address. Hi, Peter. How are you? Yeah, it's good. Just turn it towards, there you
Okay.
go. Perfect.
I brought here an article, which you may have seen in the Glen Voice, the 12th of January. Did anyone see this article about me?
Yes, I
Okay.
recall it.
So it's a matter of public record now, when they'll say, where did this all start? It was in the Glen Voice. And I'm here in the, why Glen Ridge? Why Glen? Because I live in Glen Ridge, this is in the tradition of Buzz Aldrin, whose birth certificate is in this building. I know because who's in charge of those records? I forgot him. Begins with hello. You want to help me?
No, I can't.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know your first name.
You know her name.
Sarah?
Kathleen.
Kathleen is our registrar.
Buzz Aldrin. I shook his hand last September, and I said, well, the reason he relates to me is because, like Buzz Aldrin, he you know, we put a man on the moon, but thanks to the engineers not paying attention, we brought a man back, and that Buzz Aldrin came back from the moon. He wasn't left stranded on the moon. And so in that tradition, I'm not going to be left stranded in my house by the neglect of engineers, or an engineer. So I brought this article. What I'm referring to is, and I'm in touch with the people behind these curb cuts. And this is going on.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm in touch with the people.
For the record, let me just give the folks in the room just a little bit of an update with regard to what you're talking about. Specifically, the handicap cuts on each and every corner don't provide, according to Peter, for folks that are visually handicapped. And as a subsequence of good intentions gone bad, he finds himself sometimes wandering into the middle of an intersection, and he has come before this council asking for help. And it's my understanding that it's a good thing that Peter does live in Glen Ridge, because I know that Michael Rohal has expressed his sincere concern in trying to remediate, especially around the block that you live, to try to make it easier for you to get around.
Right. Yes. But I'm thinking about the overall. What has happened is, I want to get philosophical. Don't let me get too philosophical.
I won't.
It is under the Americans with Disabilities the Americans with Disabilities Act, as curbs are considered an architectural barrier. Check that word, barrier. It's really not a barrier. For me, it's an essential indicator. You know, I don't want to use big words. It absolutely tells me that I'm at a border. So it should have been called an architectural border. Barrier is an opinion. It's a contextual opinion. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that in classifying it as a barrier, it was really a bias, a prejudice toward people with vehicles that roll, which are easy to understand, because an engineer can understand a chair going up a ramp. It's simple mechanics. But for me, a border a pronounced and distinct border that I can feel through my feet, it's a warning, and it gives me lateral, like left, and especially because the curb is around off. That would tell me I'm aimed straight ahead and I'll hit the same thing on the other side. Crucial information, and anything that resembles it, you see, it affects my imagination. Am I at the curb yet? Is this a driveway or a street? It's a very complex, the world of...
But Peter, we've been here, we've had...
I know. What I'm saying is that is going down in history as the time when people said, enough is enough. We're not going to leave Buzz Aldrin stranded on the moon. We're not going to leave Peter stranded in his house.
No, and of course, we're sensitive to that.
So I'm working on it. I'm working on it because it's going to go down in history as the biggest ridiculous government overreach, the destruction of these vital tools for a huge part of the population because they defined a border as a barrier. And so, I'm working on it. They're sending me the information about the research that went into it, why they figured out that this is the best solution, which is obviously ridiculous. And because now I realize I'm going back in my mind for years that I've been wandering into intersections and thinking I'm delirious, but it's not me. And so this is going to be changed. And so what I'm encouraging this town to do is do no more of that damage because it's going to have to be undone. It's going to be
I know what you're saying, but we're bound by the American...
No, you're not. You're bound by your conscience and your knowledge that this is going to be undone. It's going to be looked at as a horror. One day, like, have you seen the movie Judgment at Nuremberg? Anyway, you can obey all the laws you want, but the question is, are they moral? It's not a moral law. It's not research. It's just a bunch of blockheads trying to get their way. And I'm not going to let them get their way because I'm not going to let them strand me in my house.
Well, let me just say thank you. I appreciate you coming here and giving us an update. And I wish you luck in your endeavor to try to get these curb cuts, these ADA ramps to a point where folks like you, they become more user-friendly as opposed to dangerous.
And because of course what I'm thinking is that in the future, when you have roadkill, fatalities because of this, you're going to have to say, you're not going to say, we never heard of that, we never thought of that.
No,
as of today, you know about
Peter,
it.
you're clearly on the record, and again, I appreciate your time.
Okay, I'll keep you abreast.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments from the public for this evening? It's time for council president comments, and I have no comments this evening. I'd like to move on to Mr. Hughes, the Finance and Administration Committee report.
Mayor, I have resolution number 3917. Be it resolved that the following claims be approved and warrants be drawn for the same, and be it resolved that the Chief Financial Officer, Treasurer of the Borough of Glen Ridge is hereby authorized to issue the payroll for the employees of the Borough of Glen Ridge for the pay date of March 1, 2017. Mayor, I move the resolution.
Can I have a second? I'll second. Thank you, Councilman. Please call the roll.
Councilpersons Hughes,
Aye.
Rusovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Very good. Thank you. Do you have another resolution?
Mayor, I do. I have actually a resolution and then after that an ordinance. I have resolution 40-17. Be it resolved that the following appropriation transfers be made in the 2016 current budget effective December 31, 2016. It's the same amount, $21,530 in and out, and it's bookkeeping, Mayor.
Very good. Thank you, Mrs. Hughes. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call?
Councilpersons Hughes,
Mayor, I'm just looking this over. I think there might be, Mike, is there more to this? These numbers aren't adding up. Here, Mike.
I bet that should probably be 17th interest. This should probably be 1744 rather than 1,700. My guess is the bottom's wrong.
Why don't we scratch the bottom?
Yeah.
And let's just, I'll read into the record that the We have a principal due of $50 and an interest payment due of $1,744.00, which gives us a balance of $4,917.94.00. Do I need to amend the resolution, Mike? Or do
I'll
move the
move the amendment.
I'm sorry?
You'll put that in your motion to amend.
Okay, Mayor, I'd like to amend my, my motion to include a new total of $1,794.00.
Okay, and I'll second as amended.
Okay.
Nice catch, Councilperson. Can I have the roll?
Councilperson Hughes,
Aye.
Lusovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
And Mayor, I have ordinance number 1655 for first reading. And it is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. This is something that we typically do every year.
Right, thank you.
And Council President, I will second the introduction of
Thank
that
you, Paul.
ordinance.
Please call the roll.
Well, this is, first we call for discussion amongst the council people,
Okay, sorry.
top of
Thank you.
eliminated, third line.
Mr. Okay, bear with me. I declare the meeting open for discussion on this ordinance, and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for public hearing, that being ordinance 1655.
Sorry, why not? Your call for any discussion amongst the members of the council.
Oh, never mind that then. Call for any discussion amongst the members of the council, seeing, I'm calling for comments from members of the council. I'm new at this, guys.
Yeah. Mayor, I would just comment that this is something that we typically do every year. It establishes a cap bank, and it gives us flexibility when we're dealing with our budgets as we go forward. And that's the background story.
Okay, the clerk, please call the roll.
I refer to ordinance, now you say.
Okay. Okay, regardless. If passed, I refer ordinance number 1655 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication. Thank you. Hopefully the other owner will stumble them down that next time.
We have one more person.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to tax the system right now, but I have an ordinance coming up.
Okay,
Mike, you want to call the roll?
Mike,
Okay.
please call the roll. Thank you, Peter.
Okay, so, Councilperson Hughes,
Aye.
Lusovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Mayor, that concludes my report for tonight.
Okay, Mr. Hughes, there's ordinance number 1657, parking. If you could be so kind to present that on my behalf.
Sure. I'll do that in the rotation. You want me to do it now?
We can do it in the rotation, that's
Okay.
fine. Okay, Councilperson Lusovich, Public Safety Committee report, please.
All right. I would simply note for the record that this evening at 5:30, we held our public safety meeting, committee meeting with the chief and the captain, as well as the mayor, who's not here now, but he was present as well as Mr. Hughes and Mr. Dawson, members of our committee, and Mike Rohoff, but they left after the meeting to attend, as we mentioned before, the State of the County address this evening. So, ordinarily, our public safety meetings are the first Monday of the month. We have to have it tonight instead. All right, so I have an ordinance and a resolution. I have ordinance number 1653 for final reading. This is an ordinance amending the provisions of our parking zone code, and in particular affecting Hillcrest Road.
Okay, so Mr. Mayor, this is to state for the record that this ordinance has been published and posted in accordance with the statute.
Thank you. I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for the public hearing. Okay. Okay, with no further comments forthcoming, I declare this public hearing closed.
Okay, then I therefore move that this ordinance be finally passed.
May I have a second?
A second?
Okay, you've heard the motion of Councilperson Lisovich and seconded by Councilperson Hughes. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Okay, Councilpersons Hughes,
Aye.
Lisovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow,
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you, Michael. Councilperson Lefkowitz is attending family matters on the West Coast tonight.
Mayor, excuse me, I think we have a couple more items.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have another item, actually.
Resolution.
Yes, resolution number 41-17, dealing with the purchase of a police vehicle. Whereas Cherry Hill, Winter Ford of Cherry Hill has a cooperative purchasing agreement with the state of New Jersey, and the Chief Finance Officer has certified the availability of the funds. I therefore be it resolved, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Glen Ridge do hereby approve the purchase of a new 2017 Ford Police Interceptor from Cherry Hill Winter Ford in the amount of $37,737. Council President, I move that...
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Councilperson Hughes, will you please call the roll?
Okay, Councilperson Hughes,
Aye.
Lisovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Very good. Thank you, Councilperson Lisovich.
Yeah, I see that we have ordinance number 1657 that was added up. Are we
Yeah, I think
tabling
with the
that?
absence, Michael slid that up to you.
Yeah.
If you could just cover that for Councilperson.
That'd be nice if you could cover it for me.
Okay.
Councilperson.
All right, so then, I have ordinance number 1657 for first reading.
Yeah, there's...
Right, this is an ordinance amending the title, again, amending...
No, 1657.
Yeah, but it's also another ordinance amending our parking code provisions, and this time it's in respect of, the
pool.
Clark Street area,
Yeah.
near the pool.
Correct. Okay, I need a second.
Go ahead, Anne Marie, you second.
Anne Marie Morrow, second, thank you. Okay. Would like to call for any discussion amongst the members of the council. Seeing no further comments forthcoming, ask the clerk to call the roll. If passed, ordinance number 1657 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Okay, this is our parking ordinance. We had a motion by
Councilman
Lisovich
Lisovich.
and then second by Councilperson
Morrow.
Morrow, sorry. Okay. Let's go. Councilperson Hughes,
Aye.
Lisovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
Aye.
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilperson Lisovich. Thank you, Paul. Again, as I previously stated, Councilperson David Lefkowitz is on the West Coast attending the family matters, and I emailed him earlier saying that he's definitely in our thoughts and prayers. Hopefully, matters can be resolved in a nice manner. With that, we'll move on to Public Works and Utility Committee. That's Councilperson Dawson.
Okay, the Public Works crew has been busy replacing street signs and organizing our gear. As a result of the recent energy audit from PSEG, we are upgrading the lighting at our Public Works Yard municipal complex. Through the PSEG direct install program, upgrades to the LED fixtures at the Public Works Yard is complete. We anticipate starting the upgrades to the municipal complex in March. 70% of these projects are funded by PSEG. Remaining 30% is funded by the borough via 0% 3-year loan. The payments are integrated into our existing bill. From the date of completion, even with the cost of construction included, we will realize an immediate saving in our energy bill. This is for the interior lighting and exterior lighting in the town yard, the garage, and, parking areas, and then the lighting in the building here and around the building. Additionally, the backup generator, which sits right outside here for the municipal complex, is complete. It has been live tested with great success several times. The small generator that had been by the police entrance has been moved to the public works yard as part of the FEMA project. The installation of the small generator should be completed this week. That'll enable the public works yard to be operational, in the event that there's a power failure. Shade Tree Commission has toured the borough, has a draft layout for 100 trees to be planted this spring. This project should go out for bid within 2 weeks. That concludes the report of Public Works Group. I might also report that the recent storm that we had on Saturday didn't result in any trees getting knocked down. Our pruning program was successful, and we didn't have any flooding either, which is good. But it was, in some areas, a very intense storm.
Before you move on to the ordinance, noted that there were trees marked across from the Public Works along Carteret Street. Every other tree was marked. Are those trees scheduled to be coming down?
Yes, what's happening, they're crowding each other out.
Right.
And the crowns of those trees, those linden trees,
Oh, they're the ones.
Yes.
they're starting to adversely affect each other.
That's what I thought. Good night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
night, thank you for coming.
Have a good evening. So, so every other one is gonna get whacked.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so, yeah. Unfortunately, we knew that 15 years ago when they went in.
Yeah.
That it's gonna come, and the day is finally
Yeah,
come where we have to
yeah.
pay the piper out.
I recall watching them go in and thinking that at some point every other one's gonna come out, so that's what's gonna happen there. Okay, and you have an ordinance for us?
Yes. I have ordinance number 1656 for first reading. This ordinance is an ordinance to appropriate capital improvement funds for various capital projects and equipment. So I would ask that this ordinance be passed on first reading.
On first reading. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, I'd like to call for any discussion amongst the members of the council.
Do we have a list of what this $250,000, I mean, if we don't, that's fine.
I believe this is, we typically appropriate money up at the top of the year to cover various, smaller projects at a time.
Okay.
Some engineering work, some capital expenses throughout the course of the year. So there's not a specific project that we have laid out. We usually do 100,000 to 200,000. This money also typically supplements our road project funding when we include DOT funding and CDBG funding. This is to cover whatever shortfalls.
Right, but you can't, I mean, this has to be capital, these have to be capital purchases, right? In
Correct.
ordinance? Yeah, this can't be, engineering now, like, unless it's part of a project.
Towards engineering towards the project.
All right, maybe you could get a copy of what they're proposing, all right? Okay.
Okay. We don't have any definite projects.
Not yet.
Not yet. This is just the beginning thing, so.
Is it normal and customary just to throw this out there without a list of these?
Usually we put 100 or 200 out there at the top of the year as a capital ordinance.
Yeah, and then in order to actually spend any of this, it's gotta go against a specific project and be appropriated for that based on a bid.
Okay, right. Good point. Okay,
Call the roll?
yeah, please call the roll, for ordinance number,
1656.
1656, thank you.
Okay. Councilperson Hughes,
Aye.
Lusovich,
Aye.
Dawson,
All right,
Morrow.
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Okay, very good. We're gonna move on to, Councilperson Morrow, Planning and Development Committee report.
I have no formal report. I do have an ordinance, Mr. Council President, for second and final reading. I have ordinance number 1654, an ordinance to amend the Borough Code by the addition of a new chapter 11 to be entitled Vacant and Abandoned Properties, providing for registration of vacant and abandoned properties, creditor responsibilities, and municipal powers to rehabilitate. Just by way of background, this ordinance was introduced in our last meeting on February 13th. If adopted, it will create a registry of vacant and abandoned properties, giving the borough additional oversight to monitor and require property owners to complete any rehab, remediation, repairs on vacant and abandoned properties. Property owners, including financial institutions and foreclosure proceedings, are required to file a registration statement and pay an annual fee to the borough. The ordinance sets forth criteria for what constitutes vacant property, sets forth requirements for those owners to maintain the property, and if passed, it will give the town additional recourse against owners, including financial institutions and foreclosure proceedings, which will permit the town to take actions and then file liens for the amount expended.
Very good. Thank you, Councilperson Morrow. You want to add to that, Michael?
That pretty well covers this gives us the ability to require these structures to be registered and then to go up and take any actions that we deem necessary to secure or keep them within conformance with the codes.
Right. Thankfully.
Mr. Mike Rohal indicated today the calls that he's gotten have been from agents of financial institutions trying to find out when they have to file. So.
Right.
Yeah, this has become pretty standard in light of the recent past with the mortgage foreclosures happening. So it's really now it's just the financial institutions are just saying, give us the paperwork so we get going.
Okay, very good. I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and only this ordinance as being the time and place for a public hearing.
Chair, Mayor, I'm just going to state for the record that this ordinance has been published and posted in accordance with the statute, and now we'll just open it to public comment.
Thank you. Seeing that there's no public comment, Councilperson, you would like to move that this...
Mr. Council President, I move that this ordinance be passed, and I believe it will take effect upon passage tonight.
Do we have
And I would second.
Thank you, Councilperson Lesovich. You have heard the motion of Councilperson Morrow and seconded by Councilperson Lesovich. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Hughes, rather?
Aye.
Lesovich?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you. That concludes tonight's council meeting. Mr. Hughes, do you have a motion?
Mayor, you may want to invite comments of the administrator and the chief.
Okay, I do that. Chief, comments?
Good evening. As the Commissioner said, we met earlier at 5:30 for a regular monthly meeting, and I just wanted to thank everybody tonight for letting us celebrate our crossing guard for the Crime Prevention Award. And I think just it reminds everybody that not just the crossing guards, but even the residents are also our eyes and ears, and to call headquarters with any suspicious activity that you observe. Thank you.
Nothing at this time.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Should we mention the March 7th CPC presentation for anyone?
I think that's, go ahead, mention it.
Yeah.
Interested in finding out about running for a seat on the council, or the Board of Ed.
Right.
The CCC is hosting an event on March 7th at 8 p.m. at the train station.
Right. I think I'm presenting on behalf of the town. Yep. We do have a couple of openings. If anyone is interested, I believe we have one person opening on the planning board, and we have another one, I think, on the HPC. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we have two openings right now. We're looking for candidates. On the website, we have a form that you can download, fill out. I think you can even fill it out online and submit it to us. Just give us a little bit of your background, what your interests are, and then we'll look and see if we can line up your interests and your previous experience with the needs that we have on either of these two boards. I would also point out that there's a special election coming up. The date escapes me, but it may be March 14th. It's a bond referendum put forth by the school board looking for funding to do a number of improvements, the largest of which is the potential purchase of what was Central School years ago.
Thank you, Councilperson Hughes. Appreciate it. Any other comments?
Tuesday, March 14th.
Tuesday, March 14th. Thank you, Anne Marie,
Thank
all
you
day.
for that clarification.
Yep.
Okay,
We have
Mr.
one more public comment.
We do, I'm sorry, do we have any other public comments for this evening? There being no other public comments, Mr. Hughes, do you have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
I'll second.
Very good.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you.
Well, I got through it, sort of.
What's that? Yeah.